Hello lovely people, welcome back to Parcel Creation video tutorial. In this video, we are going to look at how to design this simple flyer in Adobe Photoshop. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, Ctrl N for a new document. Next, choose a square dimension like 2000 by 2000 pixels and click on create. A new canvas is going to open in Photoshop for you. So we will start up by building our background. With the background, we are going to use this shape. So when you look at this shape, we are going to see the ellipse tool under the shapes. So select the ellipse. And then we are going to draw an ellipse. Make sure you hold down the shift key to keep the circle in proportion. Next, Ctrl T for the free transform. And we are going to make this one as big as you want it. And then you can see we have a stroke on this. So if you don't have this property, open your window and then you are going to see property. Then make sure you open the stroke and you select none over here. So I'll select that and I don't have any stroke yet. So with this, we are going to drag this one in position in this place just like this. So basically, I just want to show half of it. And then I'll double click on this one and change the color to a light gray like this one. Click on OK to accept changes. Next, Ctrl J to make a duplicate, or right click on this one and you are going to see duplicate layer. Select that, click on OK, and then we have the duplicate layer. Then I'll open my property sheet again, and this time I don't want fill, so I'll select the fill and I'll select none here. Then I want stroke for this one, so I'll open my stroke and I'll select this same gray that we used earlier. Next, I'm going to increase the value for the stroke to maybe 200 pixels. Click on enter and then boom, we are going to have something like this. So I can still make it a little bigger, like 220. Alright, something like this is okay. Next, with my shape selected, I will reduce the opacity from 100% to, let's say, 50. And then I'm okay with it. I will click and drag this one in place. Something like this is okay for me. Then Ctrl T for free transform and I will scale this one a little bit down. Click on enter to accept changes. Next, I'll open my files and then I will use this minister for this program. I will scale it down, Ctrl T for free transform, drag him in position. Then I will click on enter to accept changes. Next, I will change the blending mode from normal of the pasta to luminosity. So I'm going to have it in a black and white format. Next, to finish up with my background, let me select the ellipse and then open my property sheet and I'll click and drag this one into Photoshop. Then I will position it at the top just like this. Click on enter to accept changes. Next, I will add a layer mask, so I'll click on this to add a layer mask. And then with the help of my brush tool, I'm going to blend this one with the background. So I'll click on the lock key so that I'll have my shape. Then I'll use the square bracket on my keyboard to make it small or big. Then, or you can right click and you see you can make it small or big over here. So let me maintain something like 700. Okay, then let's blend this one with the background. Boom, we are getting there. Next, I'll reduce the opacity of this one to also 50%. So make sure you have the layer selected. Then I'll change this one to 50 and boom, I have my background. So I can select all of these, Ctrl G into group, and then I can name this one. Next, I would like to lock this background so it won't disturb me in my subsequent design. So with this one selected, I'll click on this lock over here. Next, I'll bring in my logo. So visit my files again, click and drag this one into Photoshop, and then I will scale this one down and I will position it over here. So it's already in the middle and I love that. Next, I'm going to add my text and then we'll be done from here. But before then, if this is your first time you come across this channel, please, you are welcome. My name is Solomon, and kindly give this video a thumbs up. This video can perform well and rank well on YouTube. The more like I get on this video, the more YouTube is going to show it to many people. Also, I'll appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I post a new video just like this one. So from here, with the help of my text tool, I will type in the text. In this case is encounter. Then Ctrl A to select everything, and then I'm going to use this font. So when you are done typing your text, Ctrl T for free transform and then scale this one down. Next, with my text selected, I'm going to change the font that I'm using for this. So I will click on this font. So I'll open my character tool. If you don't have it, go to window, then select character. And then when you come here, just change your font to the font that you would like to use. And boom, you will have it just like this. So let me bring my pasta a little down, and I will leave this one here. Let me make this one a little bigger. Then next, with the help of my text tool again, I'm going to type in the next one. And with that one, I'm going to use this font. So I would like to use this font, and I'll type in the text. Click on enter to accept changes. So this is the font that I use for the 9th, and this is the font that I use for the encounter. So please note down the font, and you can also download on the internet. It's a free font and you use it as well. Next, Ctrl T for free transform, scale this 9th down to fit into the design. Then I'm going to position it how I like it by making it closer to the encounter. Next, I'm going to remove this 9, so Ctrl S to remove that. Then I'll give it a double space, and then I'm going to make a duplicate of this one. So with a duplicate, Ctrl J to make a duplicate, and then when you drag, you can see I have made a duplicate. Then with the help of my text tool again, we can select this text, Ctrl V to paste, or you can just type in the G and you have it. Next, I'm going to drag this one in position just like this, and then I'll use my arrow keys to position it how I want it to be. Next, I'll change the color of this one to this color, so you can note down the color code as well, DE1F26. Click on enter to accept changes. Next, with this color selected, you can note down the color code, and with that I'll add a new layer. So you can see this plus here, click and you add a new layer over here. So with the layer selected, and with the help of your brush tool as well, select your brush tool, and then I'll make this one a little small. I'll click inside this one, and boom, I'm going to have an effect like this. Then I'll right click on this layer and you'll see create creeping mask, and boom, I'm going to have this nice effect. So with this one, you can see we are almost done with our design because we have already added most of the important thing. But before we end, you can see that the information that we are going to add next is very important. So with the help of my rectangle tool, I will draw a line or a rectangle just like this. And then I don't want any fill for this. I want red for this one. No fill. Red for the fill. And boom. Next, I'll draw a little shape just like this. And then I'm going to rotate this one in degrees. So 30 degrees is okay. Then click on enter. And then I will drag this one in position just like this. Then I don't want this one particularly. I'm going to hide it, but what I'm going to use it for is I'm going to hold down my command or control key, and then when you come to the layer tab, you are going to see that this one changes. So when I click on this one, you see it's even hidden, but when I click on this, it's going to make a selection around that place for me. Next, I'll select the shape, That's the rectangle shape that I drew. Then with the help of the Alt key or option, I'm going to add a negative max. So it's going to cut this one in for me. If you don't hold the Alt and you add a max, it's going to be something like this, which still you have to click on Ctrl or Command I to invert it. Either of them is cool, but as a graphic designer, if you learn how to design faster and know most of the shortcuts, it's very cool and it is a plus for you. Next, with the help of my text tool, I'll add the name of the pasta. So I'll change the font to this and I'll use it regular, make it very small, very small. Click on OK to accept changes. I'll change the font color to white so it is going to be seen well. Ctrl T for free transform, and then I will transform this one down. So boom, you can see we have added the name of the pasta. So what left is the date of the program. So I have already typed them here, so I will make a selection with the help of my text tool, Ctrl V to paste. Then I think I can just change the color from white to black. And with this one, I'm going to use the bold. Bold is even too much. Let me use the regular. No, I will still maintain the regular. And then what I'm going to do is I will make this one a little bigger, just like this. But let me go for the semi-bold. But make sure you click on enter to accept changes before you use the semi-bold. And then boom. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to align this one here. So to bring in your rulers, Ctrl R to hide it or bring it, and you can drag to bring this one here. So you can see this one is trying to be aligned with everything. Next, I have my next text type here. So Ctrl T, select your text tool, and then Ctrl V to paste that one in. I'll make this one small and I will leave this one at regular. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to increase the spacing. So let me go with 20. No, let me go with a bigger figure, 100. All right, so something like this is okay. And I can still make this one 4. And I'll put this one in the middle. All right, so this one aligned to this in the middle. Next, I'm going to add the location where the program is going to take place. So Ctrl C to paste. So let me make a copy of this, and then I'll paste in the location. Then I can see the spacing is too much, so let me bring it to maybe 4 so it comes together. Then I'll reduce the size again to maybe 2.5 because I want it to be small. I'll highlight only the first text, make this one bold. Then the second one, I'll make it semi-bold, and the last one will be regular, semi-bold. And then let me still reduce the spacing to 3. Okay, so something like this is cool. But what I have realized is that there is a lot of space over here. So let me select everything including the G, and then I can drag it a little bit here so I can make most of the items a little big, especially the dates, the location. I can make it a little big over here as well. So just like this. Then I'll make sure that I bring them a little closer. Next, to conclude, Ctrl plus to zoom in. Then I'll hold down my space bar. Then you can see it turns to a heart. So when I click and drag with my mouse, it's going to move to the place I want. And then with the help of the ellipse tool, I'm going to use this one to tell the time and the date. So with the first one, I don't want any fill. So let me make a copy. But before then, I don't want any fill for this. and I want a color red for the stroke, so let me select red for the stroke. Let me increase the size to maybe 5 pixels. Click on enter, and boom, you can see the effect that we have here. So Ctrl J to make a duplicate. I'll click and drag this one in position. Make sure they intersect just like this, and this one I don't want stroke, but I want fill for this. Okay, so with the fill, I think red is okay. And then this one, the first one, let me bring a fill of white, and I'll bring that one on top of the first one. And what I'm going to do is that I'll reduce the opacity to maybe 60%, so that the fill that I brought is going to intercept with this, which is very cool. So next, I can just bring in my text, then Ctrl V to paste. I'll change the color to black. Click on enter to accept changes, and I can maintain bold for this. Next, I'm going to make a duplicate. So to make the duplicate, hold down the Alt and then click and drag to make the duplicate for this one. You can quickly just type in that details, and I'll change this one to 9. But for this one, I'm going to change the color to white since black is not seen very well. So this is the final output of this design. Please, if you enjoy watching this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, and continue creating. And also, if you want to become my personal student where I teach you one-on-one, please, I will leave my contact or my email in the description box where you can contact me, and then we can take it from there. And also, I have a full video on Adobe Illustrator on Skillshare and also Udemy, so I will leave a link in the description below where you have to pay a little something to get the full details on Illustrator. It's a full detail, so if you don't know anything, even in Adobe Illustrator, when you start watching those videos, it's going to transform you, and I know it's going to help you as well. Thank you very much for joining me on this section. Until next time, peace. But before then, make sure you save your work. Ctrl S to save, and then maybe let's name this one as encounter. And also, I'm going to leave a link in the description below where you can download this one. I don't know whether I should give it for free or I should sell it. If you're in Ghana, this go for only 13 cedis. If you're outside, it go for only $2. So make sure you check the link in the description below to check this flyer out. Thank you very much. Love you. See you next time. Bye bye.